What I've seen this past draft, Terry, from the Detroit Lions is this. A team that's investing in what matters. Brad Holmes looked at the quarterback class and said, nah, I'm good. This guy knows what he's doing. But when's the last time this team ever had draft capital, by the way? What I'm telling you is, this is no longer a joke franchise. Terry?
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Lions
Yes.
had a franchise-altering draft. Now, typically what we associate franchise-altering is when they draft a quarterback, right? Oh, you drafted Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I'm going to go a different direction this morning. They had a franchise-altering draft, not because of who they picked, but what they picked. Typically, the Lions, Terry, in a normal draft, in a Bob Quinn, Martin Mayhew, even Matt Millen era, you know what happens in this draft? They take Al Hamilton at number 2. Or they take Malik Willis. And then they trade up to 12. And they take Cole Strange. The kid the Patriots took.
Sure.
At 28. That's what happens.
That's them.
And look, I'm not trying to elevate the Lions draft just because how bad every other GM was. But I think it's really important. Look at Brad Holmes' first draft. 2 interior linemen. Offensive linemen. Wide receiver. Secondary. Linebacker. Running back. Okay. This past season. Double down. My first 2 picks. Edge. Receiver. 2 of the 4 most important positions in football. Damn it, I'm doing it again. Josh Pascal at 46. Damn it, we need safety depth. Kirby Joseph, number 1 ranked PFF safety on the board. I'm not going to sell you on the player they took will change the franchise's history. What I'm telling you is this is no longer a joke franchise, in my opinion, in terms of how they operate as a front office, strictly the GM. This guy knows what he's doing. This is a GM that understands his job, and his job is to provide the team with talent, secure draft capital. When's the last time this team ever had draft capital, by the way? When was the last time the Detroit Lions ever had walking into a season 2 first-round picks prior to Brad Holmes showing up?
It's been days and Sundays.
And they've had excellent players on this roster over the years. They were never able to trade them for anything. What Darius Slay go for? A 4th-round pick? What I've seen this past draft, Terry, from the Detroit Lions is this. Legitimate front office capabilities. A team that's investing in what matters. Because like you said, Brad Holmes looked at the quarterback class and said, nah, I'm good, right?
Absolutely. Garbage.
And typically what GMs do and what bad GMs do and what bad organizations do is say, if we don't take a quarterback, how are we going to keep our jobs? How am I supposed to keep my job if I don't get a quarterback right now? AKA Matt Nagy and the Bears last year. Granted, Justin Fields, I'm not going to kill the pick, but that was the thought behind it. And then you look at the Lions. All right, no quarterback on the board. What do we need? Boy, we haven't gotten to the quarterback in a long time. Aiden Hutchinson, best player on the board. Hey, you know what? We're going to trade up 20 picks to swap picks and give up pick number 66 with the Vikings. All right. We're going to take the best wide receiver on most teams' boards going into the draft before he was injured. That's not a thing that happens in Detroit. And again, low expectations, low franchise history, pathetic 58 years. All know the story. But that's a high-level draft. That's like Baltimore-esque, Pittsburgh-esque. That's how you draft. That's how you move up in the draft. That's how you trade back and get capital. That's how you maneuver. And I think the altering decision, obviously it comes with Brad Holmes, but I think they're starting to really operate like a football team would. And what was the conversation? All leading up to the draft. Packers are trading up for a wide receiver. Packers are trading up. Who's going to trade up with the Philadelphia Eagles? Nobody talked about the Lions trading up. It wasn't even a thought. You know who thought of it? Brad Holmes did. And he was willing to give up more than what he gave up. Which means he had every intention of making sure he surrounded this quarterback with a weapon in Jameson Williams, because it was vital to him to understand, all right, I can't put out another 3-win product this year, number one. But number two, if I'm going to go draft a quarterback next year, Terry, because I don't like this draft class, I want him to walk into a situation where there's actually weapons across the field. And I think you have a GM in town right now that's really thinking at a high level. I think the highest level, which isn't saying much given how shit the past GMs have been in Detroit, but at the highest level this organization has ever had.
It is, and here's another thing he did. From talking to Lions coaches and players before, it's always, we take what the defense will give us. When you draft a speedy wide receiver, you're altering things. Now you're forcing the defense to adjust to you. All I ever hear whenever I go to Allen Park, we're adjusting to this, we're adjusting to that. How about you make somebody adjust to you now and then? And that's what they're doing if this all works out. Aiden Hutchinson. Offenses have to adjust to you now. With the wide receiver. Defenses have to adjust to you. They're like, okay, this dude can fly, so we got to alter our defense. Never really heard that with the Lions, except when Barry Sanders was there. That's the only guy that people had the game plan for. Now you got a game plan for at least two new people.
Yeah, again, scheming for the Lions on defense is very difficult as an opposing defense. All right, they can run the ball anytime. That's frustrating. Now, as a linebacker, as a safety, I have to take that step 2-3 steps forward possibly on the play action. I have to commit. Unless Jared Goff just sucks at selling it, I have to commit. Because if I don't, that's a 7-8 yard run if they get past the D-line. That's the problem. They're a very difficult team to game plan for, I believe. And yeah, look, I'm not saying all the players are going to work out. I'm not telling you Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, first ballot Hall of Famers. I don't need them to be. I don't. What I know is they're not operating like the Cleveland Browns, like the Detroit Lions, like some of the worst franchises have over the last 20 years. They're just not. And I see the difference. Now, again, is it going to translate this year to a division-winning team? A wild-card-winning team? Probably not. I'm not stupid. I know by year 3, Dan Campbell should, if he's a good enough coach, be able to win with this football team. I understand you want a franchise quarterback. Cool, you get him next year. Oh, Adam, you can't guarantee, and if they get better, they're going to be picking higher. Yeah, trade up. Mahomes fell to 10. No, was Mahomes Bryce Young in terms of stature coming out of college? No. So what? Make your move. And who better to make the move than Brad Holmes? Terry, I think the Lions are in a really good position moving forward with this guy as their GM. They have 2 more decisions to make that I would say complete the process of, changing the trajectory of your franchise. He's got to get the quarterback right, and he's got to get the head coach right. And if the head coach is already there right now, cool. I have no problem with that. But you're going to have to figure that out. There's no team that just wins with... He
has no say in getting the coach right because he didn't pick him.
For now, yes. But if Campbell doesn't work out, that will be one of, if not his biggest decision outside of drafting a franchise quarterback.
The thing that I worry about, and this would be same old Lions, if he feels Campbell's not the guy, does he have latitude to get rid of him?
I'd imagine so. I'd like to think so. If he doesn't, I would be concerned.
I would. But does he have to go through Chris Spielman and Barry Sanders and Sheila Hamp and all that stuff? Lions, the hierarchy in the past has said, no, we're not going to do this. We want to do this a certain way. So we need to find out if Brad Holmes has total control of that franchise. And we won't know that until he feels that Dan Campbell may not be the guy. And even then we may not find out because Campbell and Holmes, what they're doing, and this is smart, is they just tell us every time they go out how much I was thinking that, and guess what? Brad Holmes was thinking it too. He was thinking the same thing. He woke up thinking the same thing I thought. So they're trying to say that we're linked. We're like brothers, but you have to do that so you don't have the questions coming up. Well, Brad, you didn't pick this guy. So they're squashing that by saying we think the same thing every day. I wanted an edge rusher, and so did Dan Campbell. I wanted a running back, and so did Dan Campbell.
I don't mean this in an insulting way. I really don't. But
you're gonna be insulting.
I get the vibe of Brad Holmes. Look, Dan Campbell's no idiot. All right, or at least I don't believe he's an idiot. He really scored a lot of points with me last year with the Anthony Lynn decision. So I'm going to take it at face value and say Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I think, agree more times than not. I think it's because Brad Holmes has given Dan Campbell a lot of reasons why Dan Campbell should have faith in him. So when Brad says jump, Dan will say how high. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think Brad Holmes walked in. You saw the Penei Sewell pick. They were both excited, pounding the table. Last year, the dynamic was it was too new to understand anything. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown slip through, and there's a 4th-round steal. Oh, wow. All right, that draft looks really good now. And then you head into this year, and I think Dan Campbell looks at Brad Holmes and says, hey, you know what? I just need football players.
Right.
Give me football players.
Let me warn you about the optics of, hey, we got our guy. If Campbell, and we saw all that, and it's in an area that typically teams don't show. They don't want to show. They didn't want to show the war room before because there would be disagreement. Now, if there's disagreement, we wouldn't have seen anything. So I can buy that. Yeah, maybe they were in agreement on that, but I would warn you that some of that could be acting, some of that could be contrived, some of that can be marketing, some of that can be we want to show that we have a united front. Just warning you. There's acting.
I'm sure there is, and it's good sports. PR, and I think it's not a bad thing. I don't want my GM and you look at even John Lynch and Cal Shanahan. There was a lot of misguided comments made prior to the draft, not this past season, but the year prior. Trey Lance, Mac Jones, who's it going to be? Happy with Jimmy Garoppolo or not? Are they going to go Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase? John was here with Mac Jones, it seemed like, and Kyle was all Trey Lance, but then again, it seemed Kyle wanted Mac Jones at times. You could just you never knew, but they were never on the same page either. So disagreement isn't a bad thing. I don't want somebody agreeing with.
Disagreement works sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want somebody.
A lot of times.
I don't want somebody agreeing with me all the time. I want people to tell me I'm wrong. It helps a ton. Maddie does a great job of that. So that's also very important. So ideally, yes, their relationship evolves where Dan speaks for himself, not as an extension of Brad Holmes. I think that would be beneficial.